Hey guys, I'm back. Raptor is sprayed. Literally took like 10 minutes. I mean, this stuff is really quick, but you gotta be ready for it. So let me give you a little close up here, if I can here. Okay, that's what it looks like. It actually has the same texture of almost like a drop-in plastic bed liner. Stuff works awesome. I mean, I'm a real big fan, if you can't tell. I mean, kind of hard to see, but I mean, it really cleans up your rocker panels, and this is another, economical way to speed up your repair process. This stuff works good on so many things. I haven't found anything yet that I've used it on that I wasn't happy with the results. It works good in trunk pans for restoration. Well, not restoration, because that's not what it was, but you can get this stuff tintable, so you can make it any color you want. I've done that a few times. Works good with solid colors, not so much with the metallics, honestly. But that's what it looks like. I don't know if I can have a shot here. I apologize. That's not really coming through. But it's tough as nails, and it really works well. You can see here that I've got this all unmasked now, and this is ready for paint for tomorrow night. It's all sanded. This Raptor is paintable as is. It just has to be clean, and you can spray it with anything urethane right over the top. So that would be my suggestion if you want to use this other than black, is to do what I'm doing. Spray it on and then paint it. It's the only way you're going to get a metallic color to match. Like if we're going to do this to match this gray, the bed liner spray actually turns out much lighter because the product itself is like an opaque white, and you tint it with actual base coat color, and it just isn't, but if you're doing like a solid red or something, then you're fine. Another thing I want to mention too, you guys may or may not have noticed how I have this masked up, or I have paper hanging to cover the frame and such. This is just my personal preference, but I'll pass it on. I think that there is nothing more sloppy to a finished product than having a freshly painted vehicle and having the whole undercarriage blown full of paint or whatever product you're doing. This stuff by itself isn't so bad because it's black and it'll blend, but say like tomorrow when we paint this thing red, I just let that red paint blow all over the chassis. That's gonna look like shit, because then I either gotta go back and pressure wash the frame and hope it all comes off, or I gotta go through and undercoat it or whatever, and that looks stupid too, because you're going over dirt, and I shouldn't say it looks stupid. It's my personal preference not to do it that way. This way, when this all gets unmasked, it's gonna look like the truck's always been this way. There's not gonna be any overspray underneath. It's gonna look as factory as I can make it look, without completely dismantling this thing and making it an absolute perfect two-tone. Now I can show you a little bit of a close-up here too. From the factory, the two-tone line on these trucks is approximately another 1/8 inch lower. I've got it an 1/8 inch below this line right now, but it's actually kind of almost in the middle. Oops, that was kind of low, sorry guys. It's kind of right in the middle here if you look at these GM trucks. I had to go a little bit higher, but I did it the same all the way around, just because I was real close to my edge here and I didn't want a primer line. Whenever you guys do a two-tone, a good thing to remember also is whatever product you have at the edge of your tape is the product you're gonna see when you untape. So if you've got a massive primer line, say you've got a whatever, say you're putting on a gray primer and you prime right up to a tape line and you don't move that tape line like this here. If I would have primed right up to that tape line and left it, when I spray this red and unmask it, you're gonna see a white or a gray or whatever color your primer is, an edge, and that's gonna look like shit. And also, primer is susceptible to moisture, so now you got a place where you possibly could have paint popping off when that primer sucks up some water. We're taught that we're not supposed to do this with base coat either, but I've done it successfully for many years and never had a problem with a base coat edge showing. Is it the right way to do it? Maybe not. Does it work for me? Yes. Maybe it'll work for you too. I don't know. Try it. You know, like my truck, my work truck. You guys seen that? Where I put the black Super Sport stripes on the hood. That's just done bare, you know, base edge, and that's been over a year now, and it sits outside all the time except for when it's in here on the rare occasion. But that hasn't shown any signs of issues at all. I don't know if you guys can see out the window here. See what that shit is on the truck? Yeah. We got a whole bunch of snow last night. Basically, we had rain all day, and then all night it thunderstormed. Thunder, lightning, crash, bang, boom. And then we woke up to about 4, almost 5 inches of this heavy, wet slop. And I think we're supposed to actually get some more tonight. I haven't driven the truck, that's why it's still covered. But yeah, crappy. So spring has still not sprung, unfortunately, but we're just gonna roll with it. You see back here, this isn't maybe ideal the way I just let that tape roll up there, but there is gonna be a factory bumper on this truck, so that edge there is gonna be covered. You're not gonna see it. It's not a big deal. So that's the way that's gonna stay. I gotta prep the grill yet. Suppose I can show you guys that. I gotta prep the grill because some yahoo who replaced this grill once upon a time never put any kind of primer on this bare plastic, and it got a stone chip once, you know, upon a time, and now all the paint's flying off of it, both sides. And these moldings are not detachable for you guys who know these GM trucks. Same shit, there's a scratch there and it just started popping the paint, so I'll have to feather that back and seal it, paint it gray when I do the cab side blending. And I'll show you a little bit of that video tomorrow. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do the gray first. I'm going to blend these cabs corners, paint the grill, let that all set up really good, and then I will be masking off these sections of gray and then spraying the lower red, unmasking. I'll give the red a full 2 coats of clear, and then actually this cab corner, I think I'm only going to put 1 coat of clear on it, because I didn't really remove any material. I'm not worried about film build or mills. I'm not going to have very much base on it. If anything, I'll maybe hit the back part where I put base with 2 coats, but otherwise it's going to be 1 coat only. For another reason is, if you're working with a clear coat that's not 100% actually clear, like as far as transparent, some clears have a yellow tinge to them, some clears have a red tinge to them. I don't want to take any chances with the color on this, so I only want 1 coat of clear at the door edge, to ensure that I'm not going to mess with the color any more than I maybe already will be. So that's the plan, and we'll see how that goes. But otherwise, some things I did off camera the other night was I did do the inside of the door bottoms. These GM trucks are also well known for the inside of the doors. The pinch flange starts to swell on these things. I have not yet found a way to fix those without actually cutting the bottom of the door skin off in a way that the rust will not come back. Sean over there, Velvet Hammer, I gotta go back and look at some of his videos that he did of his red Duramax. I know he did door bottoms on that truck, and I think he used like a phosphoric acid or something like that, but I'm not sure if he actually did the insides of the panel or how that actually works. I've actually never used that kind of a product. So that's something I need to research. If you guys know anything about that, you know, maybe send me a message or a comment or something. Because these door bottoms on these things are a real son of a bitch. They just, it seems like you do them every year, and you just can't get away from those lips swelling on them. I can maybe show you closer what I did on that afterwards. I actually just used the aerosol can Duplicolor bed liner spray on the bottoms of the insides of the door because it's not a critical area, but I did brush it with mixed 2K epoxy primer. Epoxy primer seems to be the best deal, and that's what I sprayed on the bottom here before I did the Raptor tonight. You can see here's a spot where it was down bare metal, and actually you can kind of see a little spot there that might have reacted a little bit, but that's not a big deal. We'll address that tomorrow. So yeah, I'm real happy with the way this looks. And this paper that's hanging on the bottom is going to stay there. I'm not going to put fresh paper on. That's fine. That'll work just fine. So I still don't have a set of back flares, so I'm not going to worry about flares. When this thing is done, you guys won't see me for a while. I am taking a break for a while. So I'll maybe shoot some video in the meantime and put them up later, but I'm going to just take a break from the shop here in general. For a while here after this project is at least until the truck is gone. I still have to do flares, but I can do those at any time. It's not a big deal. I'm thinking that the owner is planning on driving this truck home from here because it will have lights. We'll probably just stick a license plate underneath with a zip tie or something just so it's safe to drive it home. So yeah, this is a cool truck. I wish I could actually buy this from him. It's pretty cool. I really like the truck. I have no use whatsoever for a 1-ton, but it just, I don't know, just something about big trucks, you know, big 4x4. I would like a 3/4 ton. I'd like to upgrade one of my vehicles to a 3/4 ton, but I'm very, when it comes to spending money on vehicles, I'm kind of tight. I don't like spending a lot of money on cars because I don't put a lot of miles on, so I don't really wear cars out. I've never totaled a vehicle, never really wore one out. Well, I should say I wore one out, but that was my first car, so that one I was entitled to. So anyways, here I'm getting kind of long here, blah blah blah. So I'm anxious to get this thing red. I've got 3 pints raw of red, which will reduce, I think that stuff's 2 to 1, you know, which will reduce to whatever 2 to 1 reduces to. I don't know, it's late guys, but I'm hoping that's enough. I was originally gonna seal over the Raptor with gray, but I thought I'd much rather take the chance of having a transparent or a see-through spot and have black underneath it than gray. So I'm gonna spray the red until the black is covered and then spray the rest so it's uniform. I do have some other leftover reds that I'll probably lay down as a ground coat or a coverage coat on that Raptor. So we'll see. And I've got probably, I don't think I have quite a pint left of the gray, maybe half a pint unreduced, just raw color, which might be pushing it, but I'll do my cab corners first, get them completely the way I want them before I spray the grill, because if I have to spray the grill later, not a big deal. If I have to get more color, I'll check the cabinet. I'm sure I've got some other grays here too that I could lay down as a ground coat also. Another thing I want to tell you guys too, when I do these Raptor jobs, I always wear knee pads. These are just some cheapy knee pads, some gel pads from like Walmart. One, the floor gets full of this shit and then it ends up all over your pants, on your knees and wherever your pants drag on the floor, and it's just hard on your knees guys, because you pretty much scoot around this thing on your knees spraying this, and if you got any kind of like imperfections in your floor or pebbles on the floor, you've knelt on a pebble before. You know that sucks. So the knee pads are a cheap way of doing it, and they just come in handy around the house. I think Pete from, my friend Pete, he wears them quite a bit around his shop. So just a little tip there too for you guys that are feeling the pain on the knees, So, alright guys, it's, if I didn't mention, it is Wednesday night, the 10th of April, and it's 10 o'clock. So, I gotta work tomorrow, of course. I work Monday through Friday. So, I gotta get in and get showered up and do my other nightly routine stuff and get back to work tomorrow. Thursday, Friday, get it done, and this thing will be going away. So I'll do at least one more video on it after the red is completed. I'll do several videos, I'm sure, but I will show you tomorrow night what the red looks like. So we'll go from there. Okay, we got 16 minutes. I gotta shut the hell up, guys. Alright, good night. Next time.